once again. Welcome to the review segment of Good Morning Africa. My name is Koko Alomaso. I sit in for Kwame Sudan. So yesterday he was here. I was thinking that he's actually resumed. Unbeknownst to me that I'll be the one hosting today as well. But I'm ever ready, as usual, to fill in the void he leaves. This morning, these are the topics that we shall be discussing. Boakai sworn in as new Liberia president, the Daily Graphic newspaper with this one. AFCON 2023, Black Stars round of 16 qualification on a cliffhanger as too late Mozambique goals level scores. Black Stars round of 16 qualification on a cliffhanger as too late Mozambique goals level scores. Electricity tax, organized labor vows to resist move by government. Electricity tax, organized labor vows to resist move by government. The Inside newspaper has captured this story. I'm excited to let you know that we've been able to retrieve our Facebook account. Yep. Yesterday we put out a statement telling you that I think on the 6th of January, yes, our Facebook account was hacked. So for that period from 6th January to 20th January, we didn't have anything to do with whatever was being posted. A lot of stuff, people were posting. Those who hacked the account were posting India movies and all sort of stuff. But we've been able to retrieve it, and we are bringing you a stream of all our shows once again. So be a part of the conversation. If you come to watch at home, alternatively, we are live on Facebook at facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Also on YouTube, you can catch us. Let me know what your thoughts are. Text lines also have been displayed on the screens. Make sure you leave us a message. I'll be more than glad to read them. We are live from our studios at number 48 Swanika Street in Abilingpe. Also across 46 other African countries via satellite. This morning I've been joined by Ebo Bachman. Ebo, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you're fine.
I'm fine, by the grace of God, my brother. It's been by the grace. Yeah. In Ghana today, you need the grace of God to survive.
To survive, right? It's been a while. It's been how many months? Let me see. September, October, November, December, January, or even from August. I think so. Somewhere August, September, October, November, December, January. 6 months since we last had Haja Hamdatu with us on the show, but it has actually taken some convincing for me to do for her to come here. But she's here with us finally. Haja, good morning.
Good morning.
Our viewers miss you. We say you know she with you.
To me, shame it.
Hey, menka, Haja menka, Haja menka. But I trust you're fine.
Very well.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Happy New Year too.
Same
And I'm sure I was asking you about the Conventions People's Party, you know, before the show started. The very fact that there are a lot of things that are going amiss as far as the party is concerned. I don't want to say serious political parties, but parties that want to do something come 2024. I mean, in this year's election, they've already held their, executive elections. Some are having their parliamentary primaries. I think the NPP on 27th of this month will be having their parliamentary primaries. The NDC have already elected a flag bearer. The NPP has. They've also elected, parliamentary candidates for the various constituencies. The CPP. It appears nothing is going on. Which direction is the party heading?
Yes, good morning to you, and then good morning to my brother here. This is the first time I'm seeing him. And good morning to our cherished viewers out there, especially those from the 5 northern regions. I think I was there for some time. I came about a week or 9 days back, and as you rightly indicated, the viewers have really missed me, and I have to say, bless you, are a very good person that you said I shouldn't say certain things, and I'm not going to say it. Trust me, because you're my good person. We just have to leave it to pass.
Exactly.
And the way the viewers missed me, That's the kind of messages I've been getting on my phones. Why am I not coming to Pan-African TV? Well, today, if you are watching, I'm on Pan-African TV. And we hope and pray that this year will be better than next year. If we're going to do things with dialogue and judge up and see the way forward. So I think, thank you for being able to drag me back. And you asked about the Convention People's Party. You know, some of us are too, should I say, blunt, in such a way that some people don't really admire or like the way we do things. But in all things, as we are in this studio, I'm a Muslim. You are a Christian. But my brother Bakman, I don't know, he's a Christian. The good books teaches us to be truthful to ourselves. And it seems we are not being truthful to ourselves. That is what has brought us to this. I don't know the word to use to describe the current situation we find ourselves as a party. You know, if you are somewhere, or maybe if you don't know how to drive, and the driver is driving, you're either saying he's slow or he's overspeeding. Until or unless you come and hold the steer, that's where you see the difference of how skills are being used to perform certain duties. If you recall, last elections, by this time we have finished our constituency and regional elections. When I was the acting chairperson and Kabila was the acting secretary. One thing I want people to understand is that I don't have to like Bless before I can work with Bless. Because it got to a time, myself and Kabila were bastardized, insulted, aided by people who are also suffering now. We were taken to court because we opened an account to run a party, because we didn't have access to the party account. Because the chairman left, the general secretary left, it was left with the treasurer, so we need to change signatories in order to access the accounts. But we couldn't get access to the accounts. My brother, if you go and raise money in the name of the party, do you go and put it in your bedroom? You put it in an account. So we open an account. The current former chairperson, you saw what her aide did to our officers, barricaded the office. We had money and then we put it in an account. But what about her? Allegedly, she got money and put it under her pillow and her bag. So there was no organization in the CPP. If you gather people and go and stand and be talking, that is not organization. It saddens my heart, bless, that I joined the Convention People's Party from 1995. When people were asking me, what are you doing in this one? We were lucky to have people we learned from. Because I quite remember, every Tuesday, we have, orientation, or how do you say it, on how things are done in the CPP, or the ideology of the CPP, and what Nkrumah stood for, and what we should be thinking of as young people at that time in the Convention People's Party. But then now it is not like that. People will sit on WhatsApp and write as if they know everything, but that is not organization. If I see some footage on social media, I ask myself, is this the Convention People's Party? I have worked under Alhaji Banda. May Allah grant him Shafi. He's not well. I've worked under Dr. Professor Abubakar Alasan late, who later became a chief in Gushe. No, it's not Gushe. I'll remember the name. Then we had Professor Dele, now Dele. Then we had Mr. Ladina Landa. Then we had Honorable Samia and had Dele 2 again. I've never seen the party in total confusion and disarray like the current situation we find ourselves. We went to a NEC, and the NEC made a decision. NEC is the second highest decision-making body of the party after National Congress. And NEC took the decision that because of the way things are going among the leadership, they should all step aside. And it was anonymous. Even we can say by acclamation, because everybody, you could see the footage. When the embattled chairman was going, people were even shouting, away, away, away. Police had to escort. Okay. When it was our time and an IOC was formed, we didn't say anything. We allowed the system to work. That one, it was not even NEC. Did you see the difference? It was not even NEC. But we said in the interest of the party, we were taken to court. Even when the matter was being brought out of court, we said no problem. In order for us to be able to go to Congress for the party to move forward, myself and Kabila agreed. So why is it that 9 executive and then 1 is being adamant? And the Council of Elders of the party are supporting that person. And let me tell you, per the constitution of the Convention People's Party, apart from 1 person, none of the people who claim to be Council of Elders are members of the Council of Elders. Because what did the party constitution says? Former ministers, former MPs, former, is it this or something? And currently it's only 1 person who is the chair, who is qualified. So how can 3 people sit and turn the decision of NEC? And now you are calling on the IMC to come and sit and you broker peace. Meanwhile, you've already issued a statement. If your 2 children are fighting, the first thing you do is that you bring them together and talk. You don't take side, and then you think that you can broker peace. It's most unfortunate that, bless, currently as we speak, not even 1 constituency election has been done. Before we were taken to court, we did elections. We did, I think, 14 regions. All the constituencies were done. All the constituencies were done. And we were accused of opening an account to run a party. What is so shameful that the conduct of the embattled chairman, who was asked by the NEC, and Council of Elders will come and say they should disregard what the NEC did. The Council of Elders are the arbiters of the party. So if an arbiter takes an entrenched position supporting one side of the problems, can the same arbiter sit and broker peace? So it's a shame. And I don't fear to say it. It's a shame. And this current chairman of the Council of Elders, when we went to Legon in 1999, when your boss was the Deputy General Secretary, ask him. I mean, nobody can tell me the history of the CPPO because I was there. We went through the mill to understand the rudiments. We should understand the process. But currently, the Council of Elders have disappointed the party. So if you ask me, we are in court. Because since the former chairman has decided to play her tricks, nothing is going on. But the IMC, they are meeting. And we are going to respect the decision of the IMC.
Is there other timelines? Because
no, of course. I think yesterday, like this, I think, or they met. But they are yet to brief us, and they'll call a central committee.
Right.
People shouldn't get it wrong. It is the leadership that were removed, not central committee.
Right.
Central committee members are still central committee members who will work hand in hand with the IOC to take this party to Congress.
Right.
What is really paining me now is 11 months. When are we going to do constituency? And if you know you are popular You say you want to be flag bearer, and all the executive have been removed. Then go and campaign for your flag bearership. Oh, my brother, you understand? And then, if the party wants you, the party will elect you as the flag. But you are stalling the progress of the party by refusing to move.
Right. Right.
So that is what is happening.
Right.
And me, I don't lie.
you say it as it is,
I'm
right.
using this medium to tell the members of the Convention People's Party, someone who,
right.
someone who,
right.
when I was saying vote for a woman you can trust,
right.
they said somebody also came and said leadership you can trust, and this is where it has landed us.
Landed the party. Right. Let's move away from the Convention's People's Party. Let's commence the conversation with our African story. We are looking at Liberia, where I don't know if I should call him. Well, right. So he's the newly sworn-in president, Wakai. In a ceremony, I think a few days ago, he was sworn in as.
Is that where this guy was dancing booga?
As the president of Liberia. He succeeds George Weah, who would become a one-term president. He's actually come out to say that he doesn't want to, or he would not contest future elections. So in as much as he is still eligible, he's not contesting future elections. He says he would want to just remain as a statesman and contribute to the peace of Liberia. But Wakai, this very experienced politician, 79-year-old for that matter. I know a lot of people are going to be asking questions about his age and all, but he's been able to ascend the high office of president of the West African country. Before the elections, though, I'd heard a lot about imperialist motives, some imperialist motives, and backing him. The veracity or otherwise of that assertion, I cannot independently verify. I cannot say yes, that is the situation. But Ria feels like he's done his best for the country, except that they didn't repose confidence in him when they went to the polls. So he's lost the election. There's a new president. The question is, what is the future going to be for this West African country, Liberia, our neighbors for that matter? What is their future going to be like under the leadership of this nearly octogenarian? He's 79. In about a year's time, maybe somewhere later this year, he'd be 80. Does it have what it takes, or it would take, to lead the Liberian people to prosperity? Let me start the conversation with you, Mr. Ebu Bakman.
Thank you. Let me say good morning to our viewers, and also to my sister Hajia and my sister Gabi, who just arrived. Gabi, I just said it. I just wanted people to know that you just arrived. Liberia, bless. Until Liberia had the civil war they had, Liberia used to be one of the, if you like, peaceful and economically vibrant, socially vibrant nation. We had most Ghanaians there making life for themselves because Liberia economy was doing well. I mean, our fisher folks, most of them migrated to Liberia. Things were going for that country until that unfortunate civil war. But I thank God they've been able to bounce back to try to see how they can make their country better once again. For me, what has happened in Liberia is something that other African countries must learn from. I believe George Oponwia, His Excellency, should be commended greatly for how he conducted himself as the president, the one who was in charge when the election was conducted. I mean, what he did is what we hardly find in other parts of Africa. We've seen situations where leaders have, tempered with constitutions to be able to force themselves on the people. But he was so clear that he was not going to do that. And he wanted the election to be free and fair. And indeed, the election was free and fair. He lost it. He has handed over. Even though the president, the just sworn-in president, would have a very, happy task in terms of the management of the economy. Oponwia did what he could. If you've studied the economic trajectory of Liberia, I mean, they've gone through, a period of instability, economic instability, especially in the area of their macroeconomic management. But, Oponwia did well, making sure that some reforms were made in that sector, the financial sector of the economy, and also with respect to the macroeconomic policies and all that. Boakai is going to take over an economy that is doing fairly well in terms of the macroeconomic environment, because they are having inflation, I think, of about, that is hovering around 11%, and lending rate of about 12% or so, which for me is very significant. But the challenge they're having is in the area of their financial sector, and their currency, the foreign exchange. Liberia, they run a dual system, where you can use the dollar and the US dollar and the Liberian dollar to transact business.
Okay.
Yeah. So recently, there were reports that there was shortage of Liberia dollar notes. So people started using the dollar more because they were not having access to the local currency. So you can imagine the pressure on the dollar and how it affected the depreciation of their currency. For me, what is important for Boakai to do is to see the things that, the reforms that were initiated by Oponwia under the IMF, agreement. They also signed on to IMF program after the COVID, and it helped them because at a point in time they were having inflation of about 30%, but when they went under the program, inflation dropped to about 5.5% at a point in time. So you realize that yes, they were doing fairly well, except that people were expecting more than what Oponwia was doing. If you consider the performance of Liberia economy under Oponwia and the fact that the people still voted him out, and you juxtapose it with the kind of economic environment we have now, where our lending rate is hovering around 36% to 40%, and our inflation is 23%, and we are celebrating it, and our exchange rate is also suffering. If you consider all these, and you consider the fact that Liberia, Oponwia was rejected with even better macroeconomic environment, and if you like, relatively better economic performance, then you can come to the conclusion that Ghanaians would also have to vote for a change. So that we'll be able to, as it were, put this economy on a right footing. So that I would say, I will pray for him that he succeeds as a new leader of Liberia. He's got a daunting task ahead of him. He would have to work hard to make sure that he satisfies the expectations of the Liberia people, because they voted for Oponwia with such a high expectation. Unfortunately, Oponwia couldn't meet the expectation, so he had to be rejected. The same expectation is what drove them, to vote for Boakai, even though if you consider his age and all that, they had confidence in him. It's not about age. You see, one thing we need to also begin to, one point we have to be hammering all the time is that it's not just about the age, because we have, I don't want to use certain words this morning, but we have a youthful person who is not sharp. I mean, I don't want to use stupid. You have an old person who is intelligent. So it is intelligence, or if you like, competence, does not really, have everything. It may have something to do with age, but not everything to do with age. Because if you look at America, I mean, the biggest economy of the world, the current president's age, and most likely, from what we are hearing, Trump is likely to come back. And if Trump should come back, look at his age too. So it is not just about the age; it's about what the person can do. If indeed the person has what it takes to to transform or to help build the economy, I mean, for me, it should be considered regardless of his age. And Boakai, we are all expecting him to to want to maintain the peace in Liberia and also work towards improving the economy of Liberia. It will be good for the people, good people of Liberia.
Thank you very much. Gabby, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're fine.
I'm fine.
Good to see you.
Good to see all of you.
Right. Before I come to you, let Haji also share her thoughts with latest developments in Liberia.
Oh, the Liberian election. In fact, I can only give a summary of what I know. Because getting to the elections, we saw the rallies that were being held in Liberia. And I was surprised that Boakai, this thing was led by the youth of Liberia, who said they lost interest or confidence in Oponwia. And so as my brother here rightly indicated, because I think he was getting certain things right, economic stability and what have you, but the people in Liberia didn't see that. They wanted a change. And I think the first round, Oponwia was leading,
Narrowly,
narrowly. And then when they went for the second round, I was like, oh, maybe Oponwia will retain his presidency. But the people of Liberia decided otherwise. We are in Ghana here, and then that he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. I don't know what went on in Liberia for the people to vote out the young Oponwia for a 79-year-old who will be 80, I'm sure, this year. I tend to agree with my brother that age is a number. I quite remember when I was very active in the CPP, when we were trying to come together, PNC, PCP that time. And then we went to, every Tuesday we rotate. We either go to PNC for a meeting or PCP or NCP that time. So I remember one day we went to the late president, may he so rest in peace, Dr. Hilary Man. And then there was one guy called Baba Soni, he's also late, may he so rest in peace. We formed a group called Concerned Youth, going around to speak to the elders of the party to come together. And then this Baba Soni happened to be part of the youth who normally follow us to the PNC. So one day when we went to Dr. Hilary Man, I said, Baba Soni, are you a youth? Then he said, Hamda. Dr. Liman was saying, the youth is a number. I'm also a youth. The youth has to do with the way you think, the way you do things, the way you can bring us solutions to problems that is on the table. So I looked at him. And then the Baba Soni said, so now you are okay. Anytime I'm coming with you people, that I have been protesting that he's not part of the youth because of his age, because that time he is not, because he was even one of the security person of Hilary Man that time at the castle. So for me, one thing I'm happy about the Liberian issue was that there was a peaceful transition. Peaceful transition. I saw the former president dancing. I don't know whether it was at the place or maybe it was a video somewhere, the Buga dance. He was.
It was earlier.
Oh, it was early. It was a rally. Eh? Yeah, well, I saw it recently. Like what I was telling you about this Boko crisis, I said it long time, about 2-3 years ago, when there was serious crisis in Boko. And now people are playing it back as if I said it yesterday. And people are calling and threatening me. Anyway, I'm not going to comment about Boko again. I'm not Mampresi. So you see the way I'm washing my hands. Even if the topic comes, I wash my hands. Simple. So I think let's pray for Liberia. Why I'm happy about the peaceful transition is that some other countries are not like that. Some people want to even die on the seat. Let me use the word seat. Tampering with their constitution and so on and so forth. 2 times, 3 times, they still want to look at their temper with their constitution. That is why the instability across the sub-region is very, very serious. Now, if you have people who have tempered with their constitution and then sitting on the same table to broker peace between maybe a group of people who are going to overthrow their... isn't also, in other words, you've also overthrown your constitution. You see, so morally, you don't even have the moral right to sit and... Even though I'm not for coup, but the way it is happening in Africa and for that matter the sub-region, leadership have to sit up and do the right thing. If people tamper with their constitution, they come to AU meeting, they should be told in their face that they don't have a seat there. Then people will sit up and be doing the right thing. So we congratulate the president-elect, the president of, because now he's been sworn in, and the former president who handed over peacefully and even indicated that he's not coming again. He wants to continue to be a statesman and contribute his quota to the development of Liberia. I think he deserves an honor by AU.
Right.
True, he deserves an honor by AU because
he's done something.
Very
there are lots of people, especially as a sitting president. He had, I think,
as a young husband.
young, yes.
Yeah. Right.
He said, case closed.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah. Right. Gabby.
So good morning once again to you and my colleague panelists and our viewers, most especially our viewers from the Central Region, NDC. Did we start with the Black Stars or
No, we no.
This is the first topic.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go to that one later.
Yeah.
Okay, Liberia. No surprises that the election is over. They've declared a new president. Unfortunately, yesterday during his speech, he couldn't conclude the speech because he fell ill all of a sudden. So he had to be escorted off the podium. And the vice president took over the rest of the program and ushered the visitors to the invitees to the dinner arena. People who had raised concerns about his health going into the election. At 79 years old, people were like, he's the oldest Liberian president currently, and even in the history of Liberia. And interestingly, Wia was the youngest. Mm-hmm. But if you recall, during the election, the issues that were emerging as the main drivers of how the election was going to turn out, it was actually a youth-led campaign.
Yes.
Young people clamoring for jobs, for more opportunities, for an end, or at least some reduction in the corruption cases in Liberia, issues of infrastructure deficits, power problems, currency issues. Inflation was a problem. The economy had taken a nosedive, and they thought we had lost control of the Liberian governance system, and so it needed to go back into the hands of a more mature person. But the way things started yesterday, I don't want to be a prophetess today, but I have a strong suspicion that the vice president will be the one who will lead the governance in Liberia soon, because the man is just not strong enough. But that is what they want anyway, and that is their choice for the next 4 years. So
6 actually, I understand.
6 years, sorry.
Yeah.
6 years. My head is in Ghana election, even though I'm talking Liberia. 6 years. So we wish them well, the people of Liberia well. But what Liberia has shown with this election is that the war-torn Liberia is in the past. And there's a new Liberia today. Once they could have that peaceful transition, everybody was concerned about the possibility of their going back into conflicts. But you could tell from the ground movement of their supporters that one thing they all wanted, the rest of the world was concerned, but Liberians themselves only wanted a peaceful transition and to have a new leader emerge who can help them to revive their economy, improve on their infrastructure, give them hope and job opportunities, especially for the youth. And I think that is what they got in their new leader. And I can only hope that he's able to deliver on those aspirations. Else his UP party will also be shown out the exit in no time.
Right, thank you very much.
I didn't know they couldn't. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, myself, I didn't watch.
It was in the news.
Oh, okay.
The weather was warm. Temperature was about 30 degrees.
And he was in 3 pieces
Yes,
coat.
and he had already read for about 30 minutes. But I think after 30 minutes, at his age, on his feet the whole time, after 30 minutes and the heat, he started stammering. He just wasn't. So the security surrounded him. They started fanning him. Because apparently when the temperature peaks like that and they cool them down, they're able to normalize. But it wasn't.
But what I don't understand is that when the weather is hot, you see people in coat in this country.
It was an official ceremony. It's a swearing of a president.
Oh, but you can wear your traditional attire. Which air can, you understand, his age and then the weather. That's what I'm talking about. Because even in Ghana here, you see the temperature, somebody will say 52. And people are in suits, walking.
It looks good though.
Yeah, it looks good. But you see, because we didn't project our own, that is why we see it to look good. If we were to be doing that from the beginning, look at what the way Nkrumah was dressing, if we had continued that way. But we are enriching some continent.
Like the way Mr. Lanchamanton dresses most of the time.
The African way.
He leads by example.
Yeah, that's true.
And he leads by example.
Our flag bearer also
is he the only person who
no, you mentioned someone. I also mentioned someone.
But it's a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because currently, you the young men of today, I don't know what is your fascination with kaftan. That kaftan design you guys are wearing, it's Nigerian traditional outfits. But you've migrated it to Ghanaian fashion. Now everywhere you see every young guy, especially young politicians in particular, everybody is wearing kaftan. How about showing something that is originally Ghanaian? Even if you do a political suit or smoke.
Smoke, yeah.
Maybe for me, the kaftan is better than a suit because it's Africa.
I agree. Stephen Penn from Wire says I should extend his warm felicitations to you. Hajia says, Hajia, we have missed you. We've missed your frank and matured contributions on the show. I wish a happy new year.
Gabriela Nicodemusly.
Right.
I had nothing to do with
drag me back.
Okay.
You didn't even wait for me to finish.
Right. Let's proceed. So yesterday, last night, I think yesterday will go down in history as one of the worst nights ever in Ghana's footballing history. For me, this is up there with 2010 when we played Uruguay in the quarterfinals of the World Cup in South Africa. This is the missed
penalty.
Yes, the missed penalty. This is up there with it. But even for that, I can excuse because
penalty is a mistake.
And even that we made history. We're the third African side to have qualified to the quarterfinals of the competition. Cameroon and Senegal were the previous two. Now Morocco, they have even qualified to the semi-finals. But you do agree that since 2014, when we went to Brazil, and then money had to be $3 million had to be lifted from Ghana to Brazil to be given to the players who were demanding it. The team has been on a downward spiral. We have never been the same. And our recent outings, as far as tournaments are concerned, you look at the World Cup where we beat only South Korea, lost against Portugal, and then we lost against Uruguay, which were so much, pumped up for revenge. That amounted to naught. They beat us. You look at the last AFCON, where we managed to get only a point in the group stages of the competition. Comoros beating us in that last game. I mean, we have been sinking since. And yesterday for me was the icing on the cake. To be 2 goals up with just about 4 or 5 minutes to play, and then let everything go down the drain. For me, I have never seen that kind of a thing before as far as the Black Stars is concerned. I have never seen it before. And the very fact that now we still have a chance of qualification.
Please let me start this discussion.
We still have a chance. We still have a chance of qualification into the next round. But if you do the mathematics, it's going to take more than a miracle. Some of the teams about 3 teams have to lose by 3 or more goals before we stand a chance of qualifying to the round of 16. Charlie.
Bless.
Charlie.
Yesterday, God himself wore Black Stars jersey. If you see how easy it was for us to get those 2 goals, all we had to do was to protect the 2 goals, and to play a defensive game to make sure those people don't come anywhere near 18-yard. But I don't know what happened to this team and the keeper. Something as simple as, because I'm sure God himself realized that if I don't intervene with penalties, these people can't score. And the people in Ghana need something to ginger them up. After they got the second goal, I think I was on the 75th, 76th minute. I was like, oh, this one in a comfortable lead. So I can now switch to Cape Verde and Egypt to see what's going on in that match. And I saw how hungry Egypt was to stay in this tournament. Hey, did you watch that match? Cape Verde, because of Black Stars, you didn't watch Cape Verde Egypt?
I didn't even watch the Black Stars match. I had to do something.
Cape Verde versus Egypt could pass for a final match any day for the trophy. The Egyptians were hungry to stay in this tournament. The Cape Verdeans were hungry to ensure that even though they have qualified, Egypt will not disgrace them. It was an epic battle on the field up to the dying minutes. And at one point, they had a 1-1 split.
Yeah.
Then Cape Verde scored.
No, Egypt scored.
No, Cape Verde scored first, and then Egypt came final. And that's what sealed it and made it 2-2. Because everybody was looking at.
No, it was 2-1 Egypt.
Everybody.
It was 2-1 against Cape Verde.
It was 1-0 against Egypt.
It was 1 against Egypt. Egypt equalized.
And they scored.
Yes, and then it's true.
And we were still leading.
Yes, and we were still leading. And the commentator, I remember mentioned that looks like this is the end of the road for Egypt. Then he goes, no. It appears, no. Ghana and Mozambique have equalized. They had to switch back to Ghana and Mozambique.
It's like we're dreaming, right?
How? The keeper. The ball is going out. Now when we go so quiet then. You can't catch the ball, baby, and then you go and call the corner for yourself. At the end of the match, I saw Black Stars players crying. Kudus was crying.
Yeah.
You will cry.
You could see there was a clear difference between the players who had come to the tournament to play for Ghana with their hearts, and those who came, they didn't care, but they had managed to get themselves in the tournament for their own reasons. It was so heartbreaking yesterday. The media men, Ghanaian media men, who were waiting for them in the mixed arena, I think they put the media, they being media aside, and they just became Ghanaians. Disappointed, frustrated Ghanaians. They were just hooting at these players. They went and formed a barricade. Ivorian security had to come and put metal barriers between them. They had to bring the bus to pick the players right at the entrance because they could see that the Ghanaian media had now become angry supporters.
They are the ordinary people who are.
They were now angry Ghanaian supporters. So the daring ones, out of respect for Ghanaians standing there, decided not to board the bus, but walk past the mixed arena and then go out and wait for the bus. But those who were afraid went on the bus. And even when the bus was passing, these media people were just hooting at the players and the technical team. It was so heartbreaking to watch. You see supporters who a few hours into the match were all jubilating because we knew we were there. And then at the end of the tournament, they are interviewed and they are all in tears. Yesterday was just an awful day. And GFA, the Black Stars are the superstars of Ghana football. Whatever it is that you guys are doing or not doing, that is making this team perform so abysmally. You equally have a lot of questions to answer. Yesterday I heard the story of how Chris Houghton became our coach. Apparently he came to visit his father's family, and people in leadership heard that he was in town. So they approached him and told him that he should consider coming to help the Black Stars. It wasn't like he even applied to be Black Stars coach. He was asked to come and help. Yeah. And this is the result. I felt bad for him as well. Yes, when I found out how he came into the picture, I felt really bad for him. But this is just a bad case. We really have to sit down and reformat this Ghana Black Stars, because the love and passion that Ghanaians have for the senior male national team, it's incomparable to any other team in this country. So we can't allow this squad or this team, the Ghana Black Stars I mean, to fall and dim. For whatever reason, whatever is going to take.
Have they not already fallen?
But we have to find a way of reviving it.
But you know, in reviving it, so to speak, that sort of disharmony, you know, already in the lead up to this tournament, from 2014, ever since that episode transpired where we had to lift money to go and give to them, there's been this form of disharmony between the Ghanaian and then the Black Stars. So that's what called for the bring back the love, you know, campaign that that you know the media embarked upon and all of that. It appeared the love was coming back, and then this shambolic showing again yesterday. Now it appears that the love will go, and then it may not even come back because there's no confidence in the Black Stars again as we speak.
I agree. That is why we have to go back and reformat the whole team. There are players who showed brilliance in this tournament. Jiku, is that the name?
Yeah, Jiku.
Kudos. You can't take him out. Jordan, maybe. Ayew, he should go on retirement. He's done his part. We thank him, but the team must evolve beyond certain personalities.
And that Ashimero or something.
Yes. This spider, we're making fun of the last time. This is our striker. His name has left me. Inaki. Okay, you can have some of these Ghana foreign mixed, but who have shown that they are committed to this team. And then we find new committed players. Ghana doesn't lack sports football talent. It is this, I know him, connects this person, and then the real talented ones, nobody wants to give them a chance. This is the time for Ghana to send out scouts into all the leagues and find out where are the Ghanaians playing. Which teams are they playing? What's their performances? That's our goalkeeper that we were using. Even in his own team, he's not rated number 1.
He's warming the bench.
You see, and then at Zigios, this gentleman who kept us in the World Cup, at least we will put him on bench the whole time. For what reason? Our two spare goalkeepers were number ones in their teams, and then we went and brought this young man who a ball is going out and you decide to go and touch it and then let it out. He lacked maturity in the post.
Our goalkeeping department, to be fair, is one that we've had serious issues with.
But they are being coached by Olele.
Yes.
And what's the other one's name? This other keeper.
Since Olele himself,
Fatal.
Since Olele himself left, we've had trouble, with our goalkeeping department. If you go to other countries, there's one goalkeeper that for a long time, over time, you go to Germany, there's Manuel Neuer, there's Ter Stegen, but then it's always Manuel Neuer. Yeah. For a long time, there's that consistency. But Ghana, see, in our next match, you are going to see a goalkeeper. In the next 3 matches, you are going to see a different goalkeeper. Wallacott. There was Kwarase. At a point in time, they said Kwarase couldn't be because he didn't speak Chi. So they he didn't speak. They didn't speak any local language. He didn't speak Chi. So there wouldn't be that telepathy between him and then the player. So, we've not had some form of consistency as far as our goalkeeping department is concerned, and it's a very, very important part of our formation of play, because if your goalkeeping department is not stable, that is where they put the ball in the first place. So,
but what's at it? Yeah. Let me remind Ghanaians, the Black Queens have qualified for their next tournament.
Yes.
Over the weekend, the Black Princesses also qualified by beating Senegal 2-0. So they are also going to Colombia 2024.
But they won't
so
even talk about
the female squad is doing fantastically well. Just like the Chelsea female squad. All the female squads are support are doing well. It is the men.
That is where we need to focus now.
But no, you see. Well, I'll talk about. I have my personal opinion on women's football, but
why?
You see, when it comes to women's football, I understand we do not give it the attention that we feel that it deserves. But it has got to do with interest. It's an issue of interest.
No, but they'll build up on the. If it's about the energy,
it's not even a Ghanaian issue.
The women.
It's not even a Ghanaian issue. It is a universal issue. It's the interest. If you go to the United States, for instance, they've been fighting for equal pay for both national teams. So if you go to USA, they are both paid the same amount of money. But even that, still the interest, and the interest comes from the competitive nature of the sports. The what do we call it?
The
female national team of the United States. Okay, they faced an under 15th boys team. They were beating 5-5. And this team, I think they won the World Cup, the Women's World Cup, some 4 years ago. Morgan Rapinoe was their captain. And that team met an under 15 boys team, and under 15 boys beat them 5.
But of course, the women always play against women.
It doesn't matter.
The competitive nature.
It's okay.
It will never be the same.
With time, the women football.
But women's football has even come a long way to start. In some countries, women were not even allowed to play, football to start.
And I like that.
So it's growing. Maybe in the years to come. Yes. In the years to come, we'll see something.
And I would want to chip in, add a few words to what Gabi was saying.
All right, then let me go with you before I come to Haja.
Yeah, Haja, today I'm privileged.
To be sandwiched between two beautiful women.
Ghana Black Star. But let me tell you what happened yesterday. After the first 2 penalties, first 2 goals, I went out to sit with some friends. And as we were sitting there were 2 ladies. Apparently they were watching the match on their phone.
Yeah, as I did.
So I knew Ghana, we had qualified, so I was just sitting and cool. Then suddenly these 2 ladies screamed. In fact, I didn't know the people had scored the first goal.
Okay.
I think they scored the first goal before they came to.
Yeah.
So then they screamed as if So I said, what is happening? He said, it's now 2-2. I said, what 2-2? Which one? He said, Ghana match it. I said, why wrong? I said, no, check it well. I said, I'm telling you, it's 2-2. Then suddenly I saw people coming out. I realized that, Charlie, the 2-2 was 2-2. I mean, how on earth would a team that wants to progress, I mean, you've lost, you drew, then just win, and you are leading two goals, penalties, as you said, God of football was merciful to us. Then 2 minutes, 3 minutes, everything, just like that. And now people are doing calculations. It's possibility of they should stop that. You see, but the problem is that, you see, I've been asking myself, when those players were playing, I was asking myself, is it that all of them are better than our local players? All of them.
They said our players are not.
Yes, all of them. Are they better than our local players?
But even the Koto guy, did he even represent in the tournament? I didn't see him playing.
No, he didn't play.
He didn't play.
But you see,
He was on bench.
But you see, to be fair, the current league, the Ghana league,
It's not a league.
it doesn't give you, it would not give you the players that we need to play, you know, because these players, they go to Africa, they go and compete within, I mean, with their compatriots from other countries, the Egypt and co, and they don't go anywhere.
But Bless, let me tell you something that is missing in our football. In those days, local players were used
To go to African Cup?
to play for the national team.
Yes.
Now, that in itself was a kind of motivation.
Absolutely.
That if I do well, I'll represent my country. So that motivation was there. So we saw the likes of Kufadre, Ebo Smith. I mean, these guys, they used to represent Ghana. So the motivation is, I have to play well to be identified, to be seen.
No, but to be fair, it is still the case. So just that the current league that we have, the Ghana Premier League.
But there are players in the current league that are
Bless.
playing in mutuals. What's the name?
No, but it's a different conversation.
Let me tell you.
They are maturing into the bigger team. But nobody's calling them from the
Bless, let me tell you. The Mozambicans, some of their players play 3rd division in Portugal. 3rd division.
Yeah.
The Comoros people who beat us.
Yeah.
How many of them play foreign teams?
Egypt.
Local boys.
Egypt.
So the thing is that give them
Egypt.
Egypt.
Yes.
Have a
So
local
the point is that
Salah and then
Yeah.
you know El Neni and co.
the point is
he's
that
gone back.
we can identify good
No,
players
he's not
locally.
back. He was on the bench.
Salah, that is not well. So
No,
No, he was there.
so he came back.
He
was there.
He came back.
But he went, then he
Yeah,
came
he
I
came back,
don't think he left.
Yeah.
I think it was a ploy. It was
They
a psychological ploy.
they wanted him to.
Create the impression that the Egyptian team was weak, so that the Cape Verde will tone down.
So,
Yesterday was epic.
Bless, the point is that let's go back. You see, let's build a team. You see the Zambian guys who won the African Cup. About 80% of them were local boys.
Zambiates.
About 80% were local boys. You see, the local boy won. He wants to be seen by scouts from around the world.
Yeah.
So when he's given opportunity, they kill themselves.
But you see, I'm interjecting so much because I'm also a keen football. You know, I'm a football person. You see, if you look at our local league currently, what I'm saying is that, I mean, there have been times that we've made local players represented the Black Stars in tournaments. But if you look at the league currently and their performance when they go on the African stage, see, teams from Madagascar beat us. They beat Ahmed Diames and Co. And the Hartses and the Kotokos and Co.
Now they are Comoros beat Ghana with our super representation from mention all the names. A local team Comoros beat us. So the point I'm making is that because you're talking about individual players, and they are playing individual teams. Why don't you select the best and put them together to form a team, so that at a point in time they will also have that right now as it stands now, it's like no matter how I perform, my national team will not give me the opportunity. It's only when you get national team call up that you get to be seen by international scouts. So that we have to, because what's the point in repeatedly using these foreign players and getting no results? Why don't you focus on local players and see the outcome?
Truth of the matter too is that these local players, some of them start as soon as they shine for one season. That is it. They are going abroad. Let's begin
to use
Let me come in. You see, we are employing coaches that we are so making them lazy.
The coaches.
Yes. Ask me why I'm saying this. What local players is the coach building? They only go around and handpick people who have not played together for even 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and you expect good results. Gone were the days. Last week I said it on DTV. Bless, you're a football fan. I'm a football fan and a player at the same time. I played football before. I like football. But let me tell you, this African Cup, I didn't watch it too. I'm watching highlights on my phone. So even, I'll tell you what happened to me yesterday. Even when my children ran into the room to tell me that they've scored one goal, and I said, me on my phone is 2-0. Apparently mine is slow. And they brought the thing and showed it to me. And I said, but how many minutes more? 4. Oh, 4, dear. Before I realized, I saw still 2-1. And they came from the hall and told me, it's 2-2. I said, it's not 2-2. Why are you disturbing me like that? Then I started feeling pains. And I have ulcer. And yesterday I ate a bit late. So it was affecting me. I'll belch until I get all the gas out. I can't sleep. Let's move back. I was telling people that in 1992, when Ghana played Algeria, do you remember that match? And the stadium caved in.
1992.
How old were you?
When they watered the...
No. So it was after the Ghana match, we beat them 2-0. So when we went to Algeria, then they had to put water on the field. And the keeper couldn't even handle it. That was Abubakar Damba, if you think so. If Ghana Black Star are playing, I go to the stadium 8 o'clock in the morning to buy my ticket, and my elder sister, she's late. Then I'll come back, pray Zohar, prayer. Then I'll take my bag. I'm at the stadium. The same thing has of folk. If Has are playing, I don't sleep. There was a day I came to Accra Sports Stadium around 8 o'clock that the tickets were finished. And I was wearing a red Lacoste. There's this one guy, is it Kuala Osu? He's a Hearts fan with a beard like that. It looks like a Lebanese or something. So one lady who stayed around our area, she's a fire service woman. They man the gates. So he said he was giving the ticket, selling the ticket to Hearts supporters. So when I went to give him, he said, no, he's not going to give me. I said, I'm in red Lacoste. And I said, no, I only came to get the ticket. I'll go and dress for it. So it was the woman, Auntie Vivian or something. She intervened for the man to give me 2 tickets. That is how we love Hasselhoek. And for no matter Ghana Black Star. When Ghana Black Star are playing, Nyandeba Estates, we'll be watching the football. As soon as they win, there's a match pass. We'll match, both old and young, we'll match, go around and come to this mother's place, and then come back to the spot where we have the small park and discuss it. But what the Ghana Black Star are doing to assist the Brazil episode till today, I have limited the way I put my heart to the team. Before they went to the last World Cup, the journalists, most of them were on them. They won't qualify. And when they qualified, bless, I danced in the studio of GTV. I still have the video. And even made a statement that all those journalists who were against Black Star, if they come to Ministry of Youth and Sports to seek for some space to the World Cup, they shouldn't give it to them. And some of the journalists say, I say, it's true, you didn't give us the support. We, the die-hard, we were confident we'll qualify. Yesterday, what happened? Gabriela, it doesn't matter whether maybe the man came and then somebody saw him, and that's why the FA are saying that they didn't choose the coach. What about those they choose? What result did they give us? What result did they give us? In 5 years, 5 coaches. 5 years, 5 coaches. Changing coaches like anything. Me, ever since they removed Kwesi Appiah as the coach of Black Star, because me, I'm a die-hard fan of a Ghanaian coach. And the facilities or the incentive they give these people who come, I mean those people who have put us into this thing yesterday, they don't give that to a Ghanaian coach. Do you think if you are giving the Ghanaian coach even half of what you are giving a foreign coach with all the necessary, wasn't Coach Appiah invited to teach and to coach an African team? Was he not? So what did the people there see in him and then invited him? We are not proud of our own. We are not proud of our own.
It's
Me,
bad. It's bad.
This morning I'm with my boy. He's in the car. He said, Mommy, I wish you had seen the second goal. The ball was going out. That was the way he put it. And the keeper went to touch it. So, corner. Even players, goalkeepers, when they see a ball coming, they don't even want it to face them. They want it to pass the other way and go. And then you will go in. Lack of experience and lack of coordination in the team. And it's like when we win, it's somebody who will get the credit. So there was no synergy in the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah.
They've let us down.
We didn't have a team.
You see, we didn't have a team.
We had players.
We didn't individual players.
We didn't have.
So how can you win a tournament with Kobo players?
Yes.
It will be difficult.
Yes.
How many months or weeks did they train together?
I mean,
how many?
Yeah.
Some few days, which is very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Other countries, they make conscious effort to make sure they have a solid local team. The Comoros that we are talking about, the Mozambique that we are talking about, the Egypt that we are talking about. Why is it that our league is going down every time? And then the FA president is there. I learned when the players, the supporters wanted to attack the players. How did this stand? I'm told, or I heard in one of the commentaries that it was somebody close to the FA president who started threatening the coach that they will beat the coach, they will do this. So that kind of gave some impetus to the ordinary people like us who are football fanatics to do what? To also, you don't do that. You don't do that. If you are privileged to be close to somebody in authority, doesn't give you the license to misbehave, because attacking, physical attack or even verbal attack or threats, the person can be sued. The person can be sued because people think that maybe they can threaten people and go scot-free.
They're trying to save face so that the attacks will not come on them.
No,
You understand?
If I were Kurt, I would have honorably resigned.
No, because we don't see anything under his leadership.
Leadership has been
I mean,
seriously.
you see, but
You see, me, when I saw the vice president, the former vice president to Nyantichi, who wanted to contest, and they were even saying they disqualified him. I said, what kind of a game is
that's
this?
what
is this?
They play politics with the FA.
Yeah.
And that is what is killing this country. The FA, I mean, if I were Kirk, I want to repeat, Kirk, please, just resign to save our football. Yeah, just resign, because
No any pedeno.
yeah, because he's got interest. I mean, there's a clear case of conflict of interest. This is a manager. He's got players he's managing, and so when they are doing the selection, of course, certainly he would have to, or he would want to have some of his players in the team, because that is what.
Maybe with all the controversies around Nyantichi IBC.
But the point is that yesterday something happened and I didn't understand. You know the guy who got our first penalty for us, Painter, and that guy is very swift and he can easily take on defenders. So when I don't know whether he got injured, I didn't understand why he was substituted. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And they brought in Dede. I mean, the day should be 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 5 minutes player to come and just be playing some, be falling down and to give us more time and all that. They this guy was taken out, and I still don't understand. And the Kudus too was also taken out. I don't understand. I mean, how? I don't understand. No. What kind of technical men?
Yeah.
Do you go to the tournament with?
Yeah.
And now we blame players. We forget about the technical bench, and then the FA themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is a group of people who will go and perform abysmally and still receive 100,000 for their abysmal performance.
Kevin Boateng of. He was expecting the technical people.
Yes.
That you people are the ones calling Ghana that they should bring money from Ghana to Brazil in an aircraft, and this whole embarrassment. You don't play on the pitch, but you are waiting to collect money. What do people do here? That was the following day. No, they said pack your things and go away, and that was it.
But bless, I think we should go back and build the national team.
Because now let me tell you, how many people go to stadium now?
Locally, and be inviting the committed ones, as you rightly mentioned.
Phobia, Asasia buying, and then that time only that you would like to go to the stadium.
Yeah. Because you see, certain players, certain individual players, like those days, Shamokwe, Joe Debra, Eric Beck,
Joe Ado,
Osekufuo, Ishmael Ado, these were local guys. When they were local guys. Do you know what? These people had opportunity to be playing for the national team, and so that gave them certain clout.
Yeah.
So when they were playing their leagues, people want to go and see them. This guy plays for national team and he's playing for Kotoko. I mean, these boys, they don't even have opportunity to play for the national team. So you have not added value to them, and you expect people to go and pay money to go and watch them.
And this whole thing with giving the league to this Chinese company, Star Times. The next season they should stop that nonsense. They should give that thing back to GTV. Because when ordinary Ghanaians get to watch the league on TV and it's accessible to everybody, it's not pay-per-view.
Which people are
Star Times.
Star Times.
Star Times is the Chinese digital TV platforms. They are the official what do you call them? Is it headline sponsors or media sponsors?
They have the rights.
They have the rights to show the matches.
Yeah.
So if you don't pay for their decoder, you don't get to watch. They should give it back to GTV,
Station of the Nation,
to carry it free of charge. That is how you get people getting excited back into the league. When they can watch, you can't go and compare Sunday afternoon with Premiership matches, obviously. But at least once it's being aired, those who don't have access to DSTV and the rest will be forced to watch.
I'm telling you, yesterday, Bless, around 12 midnight, I couldn't sleep. My chest. So I came, because one of my girls, she stays where I am, so that if there's any emergency, so I went to her, called her Azuma. She got up, Mommy, why? I couldn't breathe. I have ulcer, but I don't know if I eat late and I was hungry. So I said, coupled with the fact that I was thinking about these 2 meals that we were having, and then I'm telling you, yesterday was the first time. Listen, yesterday was the first day that Ghana Black Star are playing. Even after the second goal, my area I didn't hear goal. So I didn't believe that. So I had a visitor in my house. We're doing some work. First boss, that's Tio. She said, "Oh, Haja, it's how many minutes? Ghana have not scored." So when we got the 1 goal, she decided to drive home. I'm just praying that maybe she got to the house before this equalizer, because we were like, hey. So what is this? 2, and I told the children, let me sleep. 12 until about 2 o'clock, I couldn't sleep, and I said I can't call Bless by this time and tell him that, and I'm still feeling the pain in my chest. I said, what is this?
Yeah.
So you see, that is why I stopped watching, and then maybe hear the commentary the next day, because some of us have taken the whole thing to heart. In the morning you hear the results, but like 2 days I'm listening to the commentary, and then they reduce the goal by 1, then 2 within 6 minutes.
Bless, let me tell you something funny. The reason why I don't support Manchester United. Let me tell you. And
that was my team.
I decided I will never support them.
Manchester United fan.
You know, remember Manchester United? Bayern Munich.
Yeah, 99.
That Champions League.
99 in Munich.
Yeah, we were on campus in those days. Charlie, when we thought we had finished because of
Sami Kufo.
So we went out celebrating. Just yesterday, celebrating.
It was just about 2 minutes.
Yes, and Manchester. Yes,
2 minutes.
yes.
2 minutes to score 2 goals.
2 goals. Yes. I watched that match.
Goal went back because of Sami Kufo. We thought maybe Bayern would score another goal. We went there 1-1.
1-1.
Once you were there,
before you realized, 2-1. I won that match.
Since then, I've never liked Manchester United.
That's my team. It's the poor performance now.
That's just by the way, but the point has to be made. Bless that moving forward. You've gone outside. You've checked outside. It's not helping. Let's look inside.
Domesticate.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. So it's been 42 years without a trophy. Make it 44 the next 2 years. The next 2 years.
I'm told next year we'll play another.
Yes.
So
yeah.
For the Black Stars.
Well, next year.
Reference it to the Black Stars.
No, next year there's
other teams that are still doing
that. This year should have been played last year.
But that's where the big interest to is. So that's where all the resources go.
Oh.
Right. Let's discuss our final topic. But I think I have a few messages from our viewers that I'll read out. Messages that have got to do with okay. This one here says, good morning, panelists. I'm enjoying your show live at Trifueti at Timokwa in the central region. Black Stars team need to be dissolved and form a new one from the local players. We need to sack the coach. Their winning bonus is one of the reasons why they lost. The country is hard. We cannot pay nurses and teachers, NAPCOs and so on, and we are going to give $30,000 to each player.
How?
Are we patriots? Why should we be paid?
Even USA, England, they don't pay their players like that.
I'm happy we are coming home.
We should come home.
Pedra inside Trifupra. So greetings to Central Regional Communications Director Gabriela Tete. Okay, thank you very much for your message. Bless, good morning. I must be frank, I was not surprised with the performance of the Black Stars. Even when they were leading 2-0, I had no trust in them. Under Kufuor and Bawumia, what better thing can happen to Ghana? Their bad omen is having effect not only seriously but heavily on the country. We should pray for their exit in order to save Ghana. Nana Kakari from Techiman sent this message. Thank you. This one here says, okay, how can this... Okay, it says that the most irresponsible and incompetent government in Ghana's history is this MPP government. They know how to destroy, but not how to build. They are so clueless that whenever they are faced with difficulties, they always choose the lazy man's approach. When they were in power in Akufo, they sent the country to Epic. Now, under Akufo, after destroying the economy, they have declared bankruptcy. Meanwhile, they claim they have the men. Asanko from Santa Maria, thank you very much for your message. This one here also says, Kufuor's true attitude and character is now coming out for Ghanaians to see. If something is not for you and you force yourself to have it, these are the problems that you face. From James K. Saba. This one here says, Black Stars should be banned for 6 years to save our monies. Okay, interesting. Interesting. As a country, and make sure that the management team is dissolved entirely. But in fact, Kufuor Bawumia and the MPP is a curse to this nation. Ezekiel from Ejumako campus, you sent in this message. Good morning. My name is Daniel from Wa. I'm enjoying your panel discussion. Tell Gabriela Tete I need her contact. Okay. Thank you so much. And this one will be the final one I'll read before we do our last topic. We have some 25 minutes. In fact, NDC and MPP are not the same as we think. NDC, they are for unity, stability, and development. MPP, they are incompetent and they tell lies. They don't have the vision. They only loot and share property. That is the difference. You know it. 7 December 2024, we'll vote them out. Agbe Mafle Emmanuel, Agbe Mafle Emmanuel from Avetimi and Vane in the Volta region. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for your message. Now let's proceed to our final topic. The banner headline of today's edition of the Insights newspaper says, electricity tax, organized labor vows to resist the move by government. Electricity tax, organized labor vows to resist move by government. The Ghana Trades Union Congress has vowed to strongly resist the value-added tax on electricity recently introduced by government. This follows the move by the current administration through the Ministry of Finance to introduce a value-added tax on a designated segment of electricity consumers in the country. The Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, who signed the letter addressed to both the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, NEDCO, outlined the implementation of VAT. The communication from the Minister specified that the VAT will be applicable to residential electricity customers surpassing the maximum consumption level set for block charge for lifeline units. Wow. The ministry further emphasized that the measure is aligned with the government's COVID-19 recovery initiative and became effective on January 1, 2024. Interesting. The conversation is that COVID is no longer with us, but we continue to bear the brunt by paying for these taxes and all. But for lifeline consumers who exceed a certain rate, to be taxed, is something that we didn't see coming. Or have we seen, or did we see it coming, especially in view of the innumerable IMF conditionalities? Mr. Ebu.
Yes. From Erazibeji economy to Erazibeji national team. What else do you expect? Bless, for me, every economic policy or decision has to have the objective of one, reducing cost of living and also reducing cost of doing business, especially within the context of our current state of economy. Any decision that you're going to take as a government, the first question is, how is it going to affect my people? Because you don't exist for your own self or for your own good. You exist for the good of the people. And so if you're going to make any decision, the question should be, how is it going to impact the lives of my people? Is it going to impoverish them or is it going to make them better? For me, that is very important. And also, you consider how it's going to impact businesses. I mean, these are the if you like, the reasons that should underpin decision making and all that. Because, I mean, look at the state of the economy. Look at the inflation. Look at the exchange rate. Look at the interest rate. Look at the cost of doing business. Look at the cost of living in Ghana. Nobody forced you to tell Ghanaians that you are moving from taxation to production. Nobody forced you. So when you have told Ghanaians that the previous government was engaging in more taxation and you are going to move from taxation to production, you should go by it. You said it. And ironically, after saying that you want to move from taxation to production, the sector of the economy that required more resources for you to achieve what you yourself had told Ghanaians, which is the industrial sector. Check the budgetary allocation over the years. It's the sector that was receiving least budgetary allocation. As if you compare all the flagship programs of the government, even the 1D1F that was supposed to be the driving policy for industrialization and for the production. Look at the budget allocation, about $400 million. While NAPCO was giving, we spent over 6 billion Ghana cedis on NAPCO. I mean, so the question is, why do you say this to Ghanaians and do that to Ghanaians? I mean, this is every Ghanaian must join forces with the labor to resist this kind of decision by the government. I mean, you have a finance minister who knows how to read budget more than any other person. He's a very good budget reader. And he will read it in such a way that, everything will appear so nice. But when it comes to implementation, it's a different thing altogether. I mean, this Ghanaians must resist this. I mean, this is not fair to Ghanaians. If it is a conditionality IMF has given you, as a result of which you have been given your second tranche, please tell IMF that my people are not ready for it. We are not going to swallow this hook, line, and sinker. We have to reject it. It's not good even for the economy. That given the conditions, what people are going through, you still want to add burdens. I mean, giving people sleepless nights, people hypertension and all that because of this blatant mismanagement of the economy. You still want to add more burden to parents and to people like that. I mean, this is not fair. And so I would join if the labor say they are going to resist, they should count me in. If there's any demonstration, I will join.
You join, right?
Yes, because this is not what we need.
You're
we
right.
need to see what you need. Bless, I've been saying this, and let me end on that note. I've been saying that, you see, because our economy is competing with other economies. Our businessmen are competing with other businessmen across Africa and the globe. We should always be conscious of the fact that whatever happens to our businessmen, if it is positive, it's going to make them competitive on the international market in terms of pricing and quality. If it's going to affect them negatively, like high cost of doing business, high cost of production, for example, if it's going to affect them negatively, it means, one, they are not going to be competitive on the international market. And if your businesses or businessmen are not exporting, it means you're also not going to get foreign exchange. So that's why I started off by saying that every decision you take, every economic decision, whether it is or economic policy that you undertake, make sure the end result will be that it will lead to lower cost of doing business and lower cost of living for your people. And for me, this is not something that is going to lead to lower cost of living, especially within the context of this economy. So we should all resist it. Every Ghanaian must rise against it. And me, I speak for the movement of change. And I'm saying that this is something that we are going to resist. We are against it, and if there's any demonstration, I believe we will join. We will join.
All right. Right. Haja.
Yeah, I don't know what informed this decision. Because if you say anything at all, one has to be listening to the sentiments expressed by its citizens. But I don't know whether the finance minister is living in a different world, whereby he doesn't really know. I'm sure it's the ordinary people, those consumers. That's what is going to be taxed now, isn't it? Not the businesses or what have you.
But the business is already suffering.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now, you have a situation whereby there is too much leakages in the system. So they shouldn't transfer the inefficiency of ECG to the ordinary Ghanaian. Why am I saying this? So many people are not paying electricity in some areas in this country, and they know. They know. But they fear to go to those places. I have air conditioning in my house, but hardly do I put it. But go to some areas, they put their air conditioning from morning till evening. You ask yourself, how much are they paying? So why should they transfer the inefficiency of ECG to the ordinary Ghanaian? If you are going to tax those consumers, then you are going to tell us that even the air they are going to breathe, you are going to tax them, because that's a space that they are having to operate. I don't know what informed the minister, but if he's a listening minister, but if you are going to do all this, don't you take it to Parliament? If you're going to do all this, don't you? I stand to be corrected. Don't you take it to Parliament? Has Parliament discussed it?
Sure, it was part of the budget, so.
Yeah.
Part of the budget.
Yes.
So the Parliament approved the budget. Our representatives there approved the budget. That is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. Because it looks as if the budget is so huge that certain things are buried in there. Whether you like it or not, you have to approve it, because if you don't, but at least some questions must be asked. Some questions must be asked. Why are we doing this? As you rightly indicated, is it because of the IMS conditionalities? That is why, where I'm coming from, we believe in trading amongst ourselves as Africans. We are killing our nations. Our young people, at first they were using Libya to go abroad. Now it's Panama and everything. And people are dying in the seas. Give Africa, and for that matter, the next 10 years, if we are not careful, you go to some areas, you don't see any youth. You only see old people. Yeah. Because everybody is running away. It tells a story. Is it that people have lost hope? We have to look at that. If you are going to tax us, ordinary Ghanaian, that the small efforts that we do to also pay our electricity bill, you say you are going to tax us. How do you want us to survive? I think the minister should be a bit sensitive to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. You promise from taxation to production. You ask ourselves, what are we producing that we are not seeing them on the market? We said we have so many factories that are producing some. And then I ask myself, we are still importing matches. We are still importing toothpick. We are importing tomatoes. I nearly said Jenny, onions, everything we are importing. How can a dry country like Burkina Faso be a source of this thing for Ghanaians to go and buy tomatoes and onions? What are we not getting right as a country? You see, Nkrumah spoke about this thing so many years ago, and people thought Nkrumah was over ambitious. We got the political independence, all right. But what about our economic independence? We have a situation whereby God has blessed us with everything. Gold, diamond, everything. Everything. And now, we don't even decide the price of our own resources. We should be looking at that too. Have we signed onto contracts that is killing this country or what? Let's look at that. Let's talk about it. Let's ask probing questions. Because it saddens my heart. In this day and age, we import tomatoes and onions, pepper, garden eggs from either Togo, Burkina Faso or Cote d'Ivoire. Meanwhile, we have arable land. Everywhere in this country, the only thing that you put on the ground that are not spoiled is your urine. Anything that you put out down there, it will come up. Because God has blessed this nation. We shouldn't disappoint God. We shouldn't disappoint God at all. Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso now. People are saying military, what. Look at what is happening. When there was a directive that if you know you owe the government or not, you should pay. Look at the amount they got. And if you are in a possession of any vehicle that does belong to you, they should bring it. They had about 20-something Land Cruisers or something. That is a leader who is focused and really want to change the fortune of Burkina Faso. If you put a person in charge of a sector and always there's a problem, I think it is incumbent on the appointing authority to change that person. But we are not seeing that. Including Honorable Atachian complaining about his own brother. That even the military are not happy with him. Right. I'm repeating his I didn't say it. You understand? So I think there's something fundamentally wrong somewhere. And you know, Kenneth told this country that he has not taken salary, isn't it? So if you're not taking salary, we said, okay, man, maybe your work is not, even you yourself voluntarily should even, the way we are calling on Kate Okreku or something to resign, at least step aside. Because maybe there's something that you are not getting. We cannot say you didn't do anything. Like, I would never sit anywhere and say, no, the sustainable government have never done anything. That would be hypocrite. That would be nyachu, how somebody will say it. It is sad. It is sad. I think Parliament should revisit this issue about this tax on consumers of electricity. and we should look at the way we are going to improve upon our local industry. Look, most of the bottled water are imported. Some are cheaper than Ghanaian. Rice, some are cheaper than the Ghana. So what are we not doing to our local producers in such a way that their goods are rather more expensive than the junk that we bring from outside? We don't know how many years those rice and what have you have been in their warehouse, maybe even expiring date, and they repackage it and send it, dump it onto our country. What did Nigeria do when it came to rice production?
They use a Ghanaian.
They use a Ghanaian. You mentioned his constituency, Timokwa or something. He did very well.
Yeah.
So why are we not looking at our own to help us come out? He was telling me that certain places they can't go with a car, they take okeke, the yolo or motorbike,
auto rickshaw,
and go into the. That's why a woman can even say, stand somewhere, saw a heap of rice. She said, "Oh, Buhari, look at all this. Look at," but she didn't even know that it was a Ghanaian who came. So if we have that, why are we not using? You see, these challenges and crises that we are facing is because we don't have a situation whereby we are able to produce certain goods that can be substituted with the foreign ones. You see, because if your export is less than your your import, definitely you have a problem, because you still have to change them. And then this dollarization of our economy is also part of the problem. You go to a place, goods and services are quoted in dollars. Meanwhile, we don't produce the dollars. We are not America. So why don't we charge everything in Ghana cedis? You go to a country like Mozambique. The other day, I was telling you, Blaise, I saw a very beautiful dress. I was with the NDC Women's Organizer. I saw the dress. I wanted to buy. They told me $42. I gave it. No. You have to go and change and come. I will not take.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But Ghana, they will even look at the corner to change and then take the dollar and then give you the change. You understand? Yeah. So I think we have to look at that too.
Right.
And thus, we need everybody on board. Right. And then the political situation in this country is like, if I'm in charge, nobody's decision matters. That's where I'm coming for the winner takes all is not helping this economy. The other day I was telling one journalist that we should look at proportional representation. I was surprised, because it's a senior general. Oh, Ajay, what are you talking about? Forget about that. This is what we have adopted, but it's not helping. We've practiced it for more than 30 something years, and it's not helping us. What can we do to change the narratives? Right. Are we going to elect our MMDCs so that everybody will be, because MMDs, they are not elected, they are appointed, but MPs are even suffering more than the MMD. Meanwhile, the MMDs are supposed to be the developmental agent of the districts.
Right. Ajay, thank you very much. Our time is nearly up. Let me give the remaining minutes to Gabriela Tete.
I'll start from where Ajay left it. I think that she made a very important point. We need to look at that whole decentralized governance system, because the people who do work, typically, just like what the MPs are currently doing on the ground, assemblymen, that's nothing. They attend meetings 4 times in a year, certain allowance 100 Ghana cedis. But when the street lights goes off, they are the ones because when the water is not flowing, when some child has been discovered missing, they are the ones who are actually in the electoral areas working. But we put so much resources to members of parliament and leave these ones out. You come to the MMDCs as well, and I did as part of my last master's program, I was looking at youth unemployment in my constituency. And my final question in my research study instrument asked, who is responsible for development in the constituency? I had DC, MC, MP, family head, imam, pastor. 90% went for MP. The MMDC rather had the least. And so there's so much expectation on the elected. And so because they are the ones who are also influencing decision making at the top, they are also influencing resources coming to them to facilitate what is expected of them at the expense of the actual decentralized governance system. So you complain, District Assembly Common Fund has not received their money, 3/4. Who really cares? Nobody talks about it.
Towards the MPs because they have their eyes on the seat of them.
But if we were to make noise, even for 1 month delay, would these inefficiencies continue? No, it wouldn't. Because we are holding government accountable on behalf of the local government system. And I think that this is something that we should be more proactive on, to push when it comes to the local assemblies, to find a way to help to advocate more of their case for them. Because that's how we're going to get development into our communities. Everybody's complaining about bad roads and bad schools and bad everything. And central government is sitting there at the top, living fat, enjoying and telling everybody that everybody is cool. As for the last 7 years, I've enriched my family. The next 1 year for me to bring wealth to Ghanaians. What wealth is he bringing? Now let's go to the substantive issue on the table. What wealth is he bringing? When from the very beginning of this year, he has set out another litany of taxes. I wanted to use the word an army of taxes because it's like you jump from one to another to another to another to another. Since we started beginning of the year, I think there are 4 taxes that have been introduced. But sitting at the tax on electricity, where have you ever heard Ghana taxing electricity? The LPP does have a rep here, but this is what they'll say. I heard one of them say that, in fact, this policy was first introduced by the NDC. It is a big lie. In fact, when the technocrats designed it and it went to cabinet said there and there, no, this one will not see the light of day. Shelf it. The NPP, because all they care about is how to continue pulling money out of the poor, over-frustrated, poor Ghanaian. Today, the price of everything has escalated because of mismanagement of this economy. Things are expensive. People are complaining about hardship and difficulties. And the NPP solution is not to ease our burdens, so it's to continue impoverishing us. And Akufo-Addo tells us that he's bringing us wealth. When you are taking everything out of my pocket, the little I have right now, you are constantly finding a way of grabbing it out. And 15% VAT on electricity simply means that your consumption of electricity is now going up by 15%. So if you are paying 100 cedis, do a 15% conversion of that and add it to what you are paying. So you are now paying 115 cedis. So they are just saying that we've increased the power of the price of utilities, electricity, and the light itself is also not even stable. I was in Cape Coast over the weekend. He burst me out because he was looking for me. I deliberately dodged him. The electricity itself, almost every night, I closed my eyes. The second day, I think, I went and bought Banco. So I went to eat Banco and tilapia, and I went straight to bed. Then all the light went out. Come and see me suffering. What was supposed to knock me out rather kept me awake for under 5 hours. Yeah. It was when the lights came back on that I managed to find some relief and managed to sleep. The following day they took my light off again. And I said, Nana, don't cry, why? You have not given me low shedding timetable. But every evening you think that you should take my light away. So even coming to put VAT on the product, that is not even available. Right. And the worst part of it, they said it's only for Lifeline who will get some respite. Yeah. Do you know how much Lifeline is? 15 Ghana cedis consumption of electricity per month. 15 Ghana cedis. Even CFL Bob, one CFL Bob in a kiosk pays more than 15 Ghana cedis electricity.
Our time is up.
Oh, and now Kufado the
shout out to my sister who just expressed this thing to me. She's watching. She came from UK.
Oh, okay.
Sister Mona Ayana.
Right.
Good morning. Right. I saw your message and thank you very much for watching Pan-African TV this morning.
Right.
You made me forget one last point. They are charging this 15%. You know the old IPPs, 1.7 billion Ghana cedis.
So
they can't pay.
That's where they want to.
So now they figure that when they increase the utilities for electricity company of Ghana through their water windfall mechanism something was not finding the money to pay the debt. So they have not decided.
No, but madam, what I don't understand is that we've been paying bills. So where is the money?
They have not decided that
especially with the prepaid people.
And collect the VAT and go into to go and settle the debt to the IPPs. But we have not solved the problem.
No.
We've just found another way of getting money out of the Ghana. That is not the solution.
As for Atachia, that hypocrisy of his has to be exposed because.
No, you are saying it. I don't know.
Yes, but when the MPs decide, when the MPs came together and asked that
the finance minister,
did you join them?
I don't know.
Now they want to do the.
It's about 8 to 14 minutes. I don't know.
They want to take the burden. Then they want to make Ken the scapegoat, so that the vice president, who is in charge of the economy, will be seen to be.
You are just saying it. It's not true. It's kind of the minister for finance.
No, but
you can wait for your distance. That's all. But don't.
Our time is up. Thank you, Gabi. The first bye I said, I think you didn't hear it, so I'll catch you same time tomorrow. Bye.